shades in the nighttime. And I prefer the haze when I light mine. You just might be amazed at what you might find as we cruise around the city in the Jeep ride. Getting mine, getting mine. I'm 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 smoking on some shit that got me off the wall. Shorty poking out her lips because she not involved. I give you love but pass you weed, no not at all. So take this Molly, rock your body, sleep it off the mall. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. Cops all on my dick because I'm high as fuck. But they can't tell me shit because I'm fly as fuck. Now tell me baby, am I in my right mind? Riding around the city, black shades in the nighttime. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. Earth is calling and I think they want me back now. Can someone tell me how the fuck do I get back down? Earth is calling and I think they want me back now. Can someone tell me how the fuck do I get back down? 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 I'm getting mine. 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 I'm getting mine.
Yes. Hello, lovely people, and welcome to a special edition of Quintessentially Queer. I'd like to keep it on, please. Actually, we should all like to keep it on, but we're taking it all off here today. So, that was a RuPaul's Drag Race reference, and if you got it, yes, girl. If you didn't, what are you doing with your life, girl? So, today is a special episode here in OTR Radio for Quintessentially Queer. Because we're going to talk about the thing that makes the world go round. Money. I'm joking. We're talking about sex and love, honey. My two favorite things in the world after makeup, basically. So, for those of you that don't know, I am your host, George Rallis. And for those of you that already know me, I'm sorry. So, if you don't know me, I come from Cyprus. I am a Mediterranean Oriental princess that landed in Amsterdam approximately 2.5 years ago, and I spread my wings, shedding glitter and confusion everywhere along this city's nightlife and daytime, actually. But why sexuality is important for me, and I believe for everyone, is because I identify as queer and as genderqueer. But queerness has nothing to do with my nails, what I'm wearing, how I smell, or who I have sex with. Repeatedly, I say this to everyone, but queer, to me, is someone who understands the political substantiality of their own sexual identity, and then the power plays, meanings, and structures that are perpetuated with its expression, but all of this always being in juxtaposition against conforming normativity. AKA, what I'm fucking saying is that everything that you do and everything that you share sexually has a meaning around it. It's not just what it is. It's not simply a performance that you put on for other people, nor is it something that you do completely consciously. You know what I mean? It's something that shares meanings for people around to also acknowledge and share. However, my Cypriot background didn't allow me as such to express what it is I wanted to express. You know, Cyprus is very orthodox and in general like a very religious and homophobic country. And whether it's Orthodox, Catholic, whatever it is you want to, you know what I mean, ascribe to your religion, like it's not really cute, girl, really. Any sort of systematic, you know, dogma of belief isn't really good. Whether that is sexual, whether that is religious, whether that is whatever. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I guess like thank you. The only reason I went to church is because I heard there's a hung guy there, so that's that. But Cyprus, though, helped me a lot to fully fledge my own sexual nature, I guess. You know, because in Cyprus, you don't really have a choice. You either conform or you turn political and radical, in quotation marks, you know. But then Cyprus being functioning within the underground, I guess, or within the shadows of the sexual, you know, sociosexual equation as a gender queer gay, you know, experience. I learned the importance of this sexual expression. You know, if you actually are looking at me right now, you're welcome. But like, I'm a very passing man. I'm hairy. I have a beard. Like, I believe I'm, you know, okay in terms of my height and shit. So if I wanted to, I could very easily pretend to be butch, sit with my legs open, just being like, you know. But why would I do that? You know, there's no better joy than waking up in the morning just being like, yes, queen, what are we serving today? You know, I'm not serving dinner, honey. I'm serving looks. That's what my fucking children are eating. But I'm joking. I'm not having children. Like, however, Cyprus, though, delayed my coming out, believe it or not. I mean, why would you not believe it, you know? However, I came out louder than ever, bitch, after the fucking army. I was like, yes, she is here. And in general, Eve Sedgwick, is talking about the epistemology of the closet, right? We're going on a theoretical trip right now of sexuality. So Sedgwick essentially says that the epistemology of the closet is an act that is constituted within each queer individual as a necessity of always coming out. Our life is a constant evolution of closets, she says. And bitch is fucking right. You know, like gay people, queer people in general, like, you know, the whole LGBTQIA+, they have to come out all the time. You walk in a new situation, they look at your fingers, they look at your nails, they look at your rings, they look at your face, they look at your mannerisms, the way they look at what you're wearing, what you say. You know, only to identify this performance that you have just put on for them with meanings that they have already perpetuated and understood and acknowledged by other people's productions. So this production paradigm is very fucked up if it's applied in sexuality, but we're gonna get into that later. So if you're questioning the music selection of today, and if you know me already from Amsterdam or wherever, you probably saw me at a party or something, looking like the most. So I don't know, maybe you thought that I'm a techno princess, but if you actually know me, you know that that couldn't be more far away from the truth. I'm a psytrance freak, diehard, and a metalhead, and rockhead, like, you know, that's how the fuck I grew up. So on that note, if you know me a little bit better and a little bit more intimate, then you're already familiar with my choice of music. But if you don't, let me introduce you to my sex playlist, essentially, and all the songs that I believe are just very lovey-dovey and sexual. So the first one we heard was Delancey by Titus, and this is Auto Neutron by Fat White Family. Yes. Okay, so that was Auto Neutron by Fat White Family. But let's get a little bit more into sexuality, yeah? What I said before is I brought up the production paradigm, which also brings up the question of consumption, right? We live in a consumerist world. Let's be fucking real. Capitalism, girl, love it or hate it, that's just what it is right now. People hate it, people love it, but it's shit. Consumerism, though, doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. However, we turned it as such because we see it in a relationship of symbiosis with capitalism. But then how is that applied in sexuality, really? So I'd like to believe of myself as a very sexual person. And I think everyone should be, because this is the reason why we're here. I do not understand why people trivialize sex. And we can talk about these things freely, you know what I mean? Sex is reality. It actually is the circle of life. Like, what the fuck, man? Or girl, or whoever. But like, our problem is that we treat sexuality as any other object in the world. Well, not sexuality per se, because sexuality is the relationship and the volition, but other people as objects. Why is it, as my preference is men, right? So why can I not sexually compliment a woman? Why would I not acknowledge a woman's sexuality and their own fucking fuego? Because it's not made for my consumption? Why is it weird if I tell a woman, your breasts are lovely? Or, you know what I mean? I think you're fucking hot. So on that note, I would like to share a story with you. By the way, I light up this incense that's like tantra, so I'm getting in the mood. So I was seeing this guy, essentially, super macho, mask for mask, which is so not my type at all. I love femme queens and I live for them, amongst other people, even though I don't really have a type, but macho is definitely not it. However, the guy was like really hot, not gonna lie. And she was a thirsty bitch at the time, so yes. We had a couple of dates, which were awkward, questionable, But I don't judge people for their knowledge per se, because I didn't know what queer was 7 years ago, But I do judge people's willingness to learn. And he was quite willing to learn. However, when things got to that point, he saw I have a tattoo next to my, dick, basically, of a naked woman. Very linear, very minimal, very classy, but I love women. I came out of one. So he saw my tattoo, and he's like, I love how ironic you are, in a sexy way. And I was like, oh, lol. Why would you say that I'm ironic? Because of your tattoo? I'm like, what's wrong with my tattoo, man? I don't get it. But it's ironic. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, well, then it's hypocritical. And I'm like, why would it be hypocritical? I don't understand. And he's like, you have this sexual carrier of femininity next to your sexual carrier. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck kind of like fucked up sex talk is this? You're really not getting me in the mood, And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, I just don't really trust women. And I am the wrong person to fucking say that to. And I'm like, why do you not trust women? And he literally said, with all seriousness, I don't trust something that bleeds out of its pussy once a month and doesn't die. Oh, bitch. I lost my shit. And I was like, okay, girl. And I told him, okay, honey, I think you need to go home. He's like, really? But why? I thought we were having a good time. I was like, yeah, I thought so too. But I don't trust men. And he's like, why do you not trust men? I'm like, because I don't trust something with two heads and enough blood pressure to only control one at a time. So please, I didn't come, but I came to my senses. Get out of my house. And that's how you should be treating bitches like this. It's 2020, babes. Like, there's no real time for sexism, for homophobia, and especially within the community. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? It is from the fucking femme queens and the trans black woman that we're here at now. Not the fucking mask for mask bitches, not the straight acting assholes. We are here for the femme queens that keep on fighting for our fucking rights. Douching is not a privilege, it's a right. So let's fucking take it. Now, just to give you also a small introduction to the music that I'm playing, I see intercourse in three, right? I divide it in three. So on the one hand, there's fucking, which is, self-explanatory. I wouldn't say emotionless, but I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to the deepest of mental attractions. I would call it physical. Then there's making love. That's self-explanatory, and it's beautiful, and I hope everyone at least experiences it once in their life, or hopefully more. But I'm hating, I'm just stating. And then there's having sex with someone. Sex is volition that has a dual partnership. It makes a difference to me if I'm having sex with you or with anyone else. I want to be in this exact moment with you, sharing this, bodily vulnerability and openness that you have and you share with that person through a mental connection, through whatever you want to call that, So in the same way, I have started off my playlist right now with these 3 divisions, pretty much. I'm going to let you figure out which is which, because in my head, they're pretty self-explanatory. So you do you. Now let's go, and no sex playlist would ever be complete without any Joy Division or Bauhaus. So let's listen to She's Lost Control and Bela Lugosi's Dead.
It says it all, she's lost control, and she's clinging to the nearest passerby. She's lost control, and she gave away the secrets of her past and said I lost control again. And of a voice that told her when and where to act, she said I lost control again. She said I lost control again, and she screamed out, kicking on the side, and said I lost control again. And she's upon the floor, I thought she died. She said I lost control. She's lost control again. She's lost control. She's lost control again. She's lost control.
Warm white, translucent black capes that on the wrap. Eleanor Rose is dead. The bats have left the bell tower. The victims have been bled. Red velvet lines. The black box. Eleanor Rose is dead. Eleanor Rose is dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. The virginal brides filed past his tomb, strewn with time-stained flowers, bereft in deathly bloom. Alone in a darkened room, the Count. Eleanor Rose is dead. Eleanor Rose is dead. Eleanor Rose is dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead.
Okay, so that was Bela Lugosi's Dead. Not that that needs introduction. If you don't already know it, like, you've made some choices in life, not like fucking Bauhaus. I'm joking. But let's go back to the production of sexuality, right? I brought some books with me because I love reading. So I will share like a philosophy of one of my friends, Jürgen Habermas, that everyone hates, me included. And he's talking about the philosophy of praxis, which essentially was created by Marx. But what he's saying is that the philosophy of praxis has three prerequisites, essentially. On the one hand, there should be action, then it should be self-generational, and on the other hand, there should be labor in order to create labor, basically, is the other two. So the point of praxis is that on the one hand, you need to understand that it is conceived and it is produced as an action. It's a conscious volition which you have thought through and then enacted, basically, or actually think of the prerequisites that would enable you to enact it. Sexuality, let's say, is acknowledging someone as hot, you know? So that's the action, primarily. Then, self-generational would be a praxis that essentially can stand on its own, you know? It's valuable for what it is rather than who is doing it. So in the same way, let's say you are the subject. So no matter how hot you are, let's leave that outside because it's not about you. In order for your praxis, aka acknowledging someone as attractive, to be self-generational would be going up to them and telling them, hey, would you like to have a drink? I find you very attractive. Or would be like, hello, I think you're very beautiful. Can I please have your number? Or just being like, yo, what's up? Care for a drink? And then that praxis would be turned into generational, let's say, when that other person consents to it. Vital in sexuality, huh? So when that happens, and then that person reciprocates and is like, oh my God, fuck yeah, let's have a drink. Then it turns into labor because it's like a volitional thing that will keep on being reproduced. But then what Habermas is saying is that ideally, each praxis, here's my book, each praxis should be turned into reification. And reification, put in simple terms, as expressed by Hegel, basically, and Lukács? Yeah, and Husserl. Basically, all of them, like, anyway. let's not get into marks, really. I don't have the fucking time for that, nor the patience at this point. It's sunny outside. Let's be happy. So what they say is that basically, human expressivity is capable of objectivation. That is, it manifests itself in products of human activity that are available both to their producers and to other humans as elements of a common world. It's, let's say, the different social cues that we have attached to sexuality. One of them, within the queer community, well, let's go with gay community and Grindr whole situation, would be type and preference. Yay, imaginary applause. No. You can have a preference, evidently. However, that reference and that preference should not be expressed as hatred. No fats, no femmes, no Asians. Bitch, what the fuck? Hatred is not an opinion. Neither is a preference. You're just being an asshole. So then it's just kind of like, why would you express that type of negativity within your sexual realm? How about you just don't put it and don't answer to those people if they text you? Or don't text them. And then also just be kind. You can just be like, hey, brah, thanks for your interest. I'm not interested, though. Have a good day. It's not that hard. I don't understand. At the end of the day, like, if you smile, the universe will smile back, like, you know? And it's like we have so much pressure and so much negativity within our lives every single day. Why would you choose to bring that in your own sexuality? I do not understand, really. But that goes a step even further to emotional unavailability. So many of my straight guy friends are like to me, oh, being gay, you're like so lucky. I'm like, well, I am, but not for the reasons that you think. But they think that we're lucky, that we can just basically have meaningless sex whenever we please to, through Grindr or all these, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just kind of like, but do you not see how that is objectifying? And that is actually very emotionally unstable. It's great, obviously, as well, because that is part of our privilege. You know what I mean? As a community, we have been like repressed for so many years and on so many levels that are constitutionally handed out to us as essentially like an inability of us to exist in valid terms, that we take what it is within the underground or within the shadows of society and then just like take it back, taking back the fucking night. And now I'm not trying to like trash on anything, nor am I trying to say that I haven't like enjoyed casual sex, but what I'm saying is that like this emotional reciprocity essentially reflects the way we are integrated within society. You know, no matter of how much sex you have, no matter how many orgies you go to, at the end of the day, no matter of the privilege of sexual liberation, I was still looked weird when I walked into Albert Heijn like this to go and get a fucking croissant. Like, why, girl? Why? Is it because my nails are fiercer than yours, or because I'm wearing full leather at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Well, no, it's because I'm fucking gay. So I don't understand, on the other hand, why they call it homophobia. What are you scared of? You're not scared of anything. You're just an asshole, like. But let's move on with our sexual playlist, with two of the sexiest songs for me. One being Tear You Apart by She Wants Revenge, and the other one is Red Wine by Stoned Jesus. Okay, so that was Red Wine by Stoned Jesus, which is actually one of my favorite songs. And before that, what were we listening to? Yeah, Tear You Apart by She Wants Revenge. That became super popular through American Horror Story, and I was like, oh, welcome, guys. Anyway, but we couldn't talk about sexuality and theory without the number one daddy of those two things, Foucault. So Foucault essentially has this book, Beyond Biopolitics, by the way, and the Theory of Sexuality, called The Lover's Discourse, which is a beautiful, beautiful book, and I encourage everyone strongly to go and buy it and read it. That was given to me by Catherine, actually. Kisses to my love. So this is it. Goes with my outfit, actually, as well. And essentially, he's talking about types. So what he's saying is that essentially our mental occupation of sexuality should be considered as different spaces. Topos in Greek is what he uses. And essentially, de facto, we are atopos when we're in love. It's kind of like our brain is empty, essentially. So what he's saying about type, he uses, right, just my type and not my type at all as some cruising slogans. For the gays out there, you all know cruising way too well. But what he's essentially saying is that a lover is merely a choosier cruiser who spends their life looking for their type and then trying to find the truth that they have accumulated within the adverse corners of the other's body, which is a beautiful way to look at types. But just to break it down in simpler terms, what he's essentially saying is that throughout your life, you have had different stimuli, all right, that have had an emotional response to these things. And these responses have accumulated within you in creating the meanings that you have thought of about yourself. You make sense of the world around you through those meanings and through those emotional responses. So throughout your life, while you're cultivating this essential repertoire of who you think George is or, XYZ, you try to find people around you that can occupy the spaces that you have already trenched through. No, what's the word? Walked through anyway. So while you're doing that, somewhere along the way, you find people that add to that. That's how I see it, at least. He doesn't have the last part, but, so you don't, I don't know what type of person, what I'm saying, if you are, the listener or whoever, but if you are indeed one of those people that dates everyone the same or dates their twin, good for you, but not the one for me. I like to find people that push my limits in vulnerability and in places that I didn't really think I would go through. You know what I mean? And in my own understanding, that's just a natural process of things. You need people around you that challenge you and make you discover new things, whether that is fetishes, kinks, or simple emotions, And key is communication, darling. But moving beyond what Foucault was talking about atopia, he's saying that essentially love, or the creation of love, starts with accumulation of the other's brilliant originality. Because it's only when the other person is original that you're truly hooked. And by original, by the way, I'm talking in response to all of the accumulations that you have had so far emotionally. So if you never thought that you would be into someone that's hairy, but you're definitely into people that are a bit soft-spoken. And then you meet someone that's soft-spoken and hairy, then you're like, damn, hey, you know what I mean? It's cute. Because then they take you to a place that you haven't really walked through before. And that, my friends, is fucking beautiful. And he's saying that essentially, a divine essence is the true side of originality and strength, which is neither in myself nor the other, but in our actual relation. Because in this way, I am obliged to make myself a lover, like everyone else in this world, which is beautiful. And he basically wraps up his whole rant about atopia with breaking up, which is sad. However, it's also a natural process. And what he's saying is that basically we lose our shit and we are dramatic because that person that has like occupied those spaces in their minds have now left it bare and blank. And that's what scares us. That once we were in that land of prosperity and love, and now we're no longer there. But like, my advice to you is like, babes, occupy that fucking space with yourself. You know? Because that's the only relationship you will be stuck with at the end of your fucking life. You. And also, to be honest, those people that are like, life is short. Like, no, babes. Life is not short. Life is literally the only thing you will experience and the longest thing you will experience. And that's why you should make it fucking count. Because honestly, types come and go. So do emotions. But integrity is what fucking stays with you at the end of the day. Because when you go to bed and you're alone, you're not going to be thinking neither about Mark, neither about George, neither about like whoever. What you will be thinking about is how you acted in response to your own self. But you have nice music to keep you company in the bed most of the times, or hopefully someone else. But let's go into I Wanna Be Your Dog by the Stooges. So that was I Wanna Be Your Dog by the Stooges, which genuinely, it's one of the sexiest songs ever for me. But moving beyond Atopia, what Foucault also claimed, well, he claimed a lot of things in that fucking book, but one of the vital things for me within a relationship, whether that is only for a night or whether that is for like the rest of your life, comes down to understanding, right? It's when you inhabit that space that the other person doesn't, or the other way around, where that person inhabits a space that you simply just cannot, you know? And you get in fights, you shout at one another, you lose your fucking shit, and you exclaim something that is very simple in our eyes. I want to understand. I want to feel what you're feeling. I want you to take me to that space with you. And that's where communication comes in, honey. That's the fucking boat. So basically, Heidegger, my theoretical daddy, divides self-perception in two, okay? On the one hand, there is the narrative, and on the other hand, there is the discourse. The narrative is the emotional response that you have in everyday life on a one-to-one basis in the things that are like basically becoming around you, that are unfolding every day. When you are within a situation with someone and you're having like a nice glass of wine, you're flirting, super cute, you don't stop and think like, oh wow, I really like this guy. Right now I am feeling this. Emotions do not manifest while they are becoming. They manifest after you have experienced and felt them, basically. So on that note, discourse is when those emotions and those understandings fall into place in the general picture, in the bigger picture that you have created for your own selfhood. So Foucault is saying that basically the discourse on love, though I may try and occur it and kind of like conquer it for years at a time, I cannot hope but only to seize the concept of it only by the tail, as like a flashing glimpse that just had happened. You know, when you are in love with someone or when you're fascinated by someone, you don't know exactly what you love. You love the way they make you feel. You love the place that they took you. You love their nails, that small little like twitch that they have, kind of like always putting their hair behind their ear. You love the way their skin feels, their nails are against yours. But when you don't love someone, you're left in utopia, you know exactly what pisses you off. I'm pissed off by the way you fucking like flick your fingers all the time on the table. I'm pissed off by you not always fucking like cleaning up after yourself and leaving your clothes all over the place. But that's where the point that we don't understand. What do we do, basically? And he uses a Chinese proverb. It's actually, I was like, oh my God, bitch work. He says that the darkest place is always underneath the lamp. Which is so fucking true, because when you're under the lamp and there is this light, everything else around you is darker than what they actually are, you know? So in the same way, if we are in a relationship that we don't really understand, what we should do is just turn on the fucking lights all over the room, honey, not just stand under the lamp on our own. And that's exactly the problems of assumptions, because you assume things for the other person, whether that is sexual, whether that is like emotional, whatever that is. And that happens without their consent. Because if you have already assumed how the other person is feeling or what they want to do, then that's wrong. I think I said it last time as well, that basically, who was it, Buddha or something, that said this thing that basically, do unto others as others would do unto you. And that's fucking bullshit, baby. Because you are not the meter of comparison. What you should do is ask the other person how they want to be treated and then treat them accordingly. Because at the end of the day, there is no more powerful verb that you can use, and there is no stronger emotional symbiosis that you can like aspire to fulfill than that of love. It takes both by the fucking balls and by the fucking tits, by the fucking hair, and brings you to that fucking place that nothing else can prosper besides queer natality and just like emotional reciprocity. Don't hate, participate. So, since we're being like a very lovey-dovey vibe right now, let's go to Why by Andrew Bird, and then I will close off with the song that's about love, which is Poetry, How Does It Feel Like by Aqua Naru.
Why'd you do that? You shouldn't have done that. If I told you once, I told you 3 times that you get your punishment when you show me your crumbs. And it's not the spell or a curse you put on me, or the way you make me smile so tenderly. I wish it was your temper you were throwing. Damn you for being so easy going. I thought that time would tell it was your dishes you were throwing. Damn you for being so easy going.
Okay, so I was rude and I forgot to say goodbye to everyone that tuned in, but thank you so much for listening to me and my language of love for the past hour. And honestly, yeah, that's it. Just fucking cover the world in glitter, babes, and love everyone around you. And call your mom. Fucking call her, bitch. But yes, my name is George Rallis, and you can follow Quintessentially Queer on Facebook under Quintessentially Queer, and me on Instagram under Gravity Grave with an underscore. And now, let's go to an ode of a generation. That is Poetry, How Does It Feel Like by Aqua fucking Naru. Love you all, and see ya next time.
If love had a sound, this would be that sound. Love, love. We would be the band to play it. My ghetto butterfly flew away from me. I wait patiently by windows and doorsteps. Play make-believe as my tears pour chest. Won't succeed to breathe if not the hair of you. Surely there's never been a shade so blue. A sting attitude, so not mad at you. Not a magnitude to encompass the latitude of my love for you. No space or time compatible. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? Ooh, my friends say I got it bad for you. I do, but there's nothing in this world I'd rather do. But you, hey, I want to make love to your existence, drenched in the colors of your energy, then masturbate to the memories. I want to lose myself inside yourself until you find me, confine me to the freedom of your prison. Exist in the same space, same time. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. I wanna drink the sweat of your intellect, reflect and watch your light passion mark my neck. Caress the sight of your presence with no question. Undress to the nakedness of love, pure love. I want to make love to my soulmate. My soulmate, make love to my soulmate. My soulmate, make love to my soulmate. I wonder, how does it feel to make love to your soulmate? Kinda like writing poetry till climax, till the point and place where our space and time match and we cross divine paths. Tell me, would you like that? How would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Now would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Would you like that? Tell me. I wanna love you more than madly. Wrap these legs around your words until your speech is straddled deep gladly. quietly swim the currents of your vibration. Be separate and one with the same meditation.